Hi everyone, Marianne Cowan here from Pinery Paper Crafts. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to hop on today, but I'm here a bit late, but I'm here nonetheless. And I have a couple of fun cards to show you. First, just to review the ones that we did on Monday. We have been playing with Flowering Rain Boots and Home and Garden, which are two amazing sets, especially as we're all dreaming of spring. So we're going to be using these ones again today. They do have coordinating dies, which are the rain boot dies and the garden dies. So there are some elements that there are not dies for, just not stamps for, just dies, like the little hand rake. Anyways, it's a very fun set to play with. Today we're also using window flower, the window, and the pots. And also potted succulents. We're using this bigger pot, I guess. I'm not using it as a pot, but that's what we're using. Hey, Manick. We're also using the Bloom Where You're Planted 12 by 12 Designer Series paper. We're using this one and this one. And it's got this awesome sheet that has all these pots in it, which would be good to use as well, but we're not using that today. Just these two background papers. So the ones we did on Monday, we used the gingham paper from You're a Peach Designer Series paper, only available until the end of April? No, May. The catalog's all changed, so I can never remember. Pale papaya. And then we used a whole bunch of the elements from the stamp sets and dies I just showed you. There we have fresh freesia, soft succulent, and pale papaya, the little watering can. So between the two sets, the scale of the items is a bit different. So some things you can use in both sets, some of them don't really work. So those are the ones that we made on Monday. Very cute. I thought this would be a really fun set to put in a little acetate box and give to someone as a little gift. So today we're going to do two cards that would be suitable masculine cards. And the one stamp set has Happy Father's Day, thanks for helping me grow, birthday wishes, Dad, to the man who can do anything. That's my husband. Yeah, he can do anything. So we're going to do one. I'm not sure I like the way I've got the sentiment lined up, but we'll see if we're going to keep it or not. All right, so the first card, this is gray. Gray granite, to be exact. Some of the grays I can never remember which is which. So this is gray granite. And then for the next layer we have basic gray, which is quite a bit darker. The other one is smoky slate. So then we have basic gray. And then we have our Designer Series paper. So let's go ahead and put these layers on. So Wednesdays will be hit or miss, and the time might be, I don't know, whatever, for the next little while. And I am going away first week in April. Wednesday, yeah, but I'll let you know. I might do some pre-recorded stuff. All right, so now we have our layers. So I went ahead and die cut all of the elements. This one is from this set, Garden Dies. And I'm pretty sure this is exactly what it's designed for. What I like to do, I showed on Monday, is I go ahead and cut out, and I was just trying different colors, different ways to make the ladder, all kinds of different things. This is a retired punch, 1/16. Hey, Judith. So I have my little bucket ready to just pull stuff out of. So this is from the Garden Dies, and it's a little bit long. I've embossed it, or I die cut it out of wood grain paper, but it is a bit too long, so I want to take about 1/2 inch maybe off the end. And that's going to go there, and this is going to go down flat. This is the In Good Taste Designer Series paper. It carried over into the new catalog. I'm not sure if it'll be in the next catalog. So you might want to stock up. Now, one of the other elements in the set are these really cool little hooks. So we're kind of creating a little scene in maybe a garden shed or a garage. So I'm going to pop these up with mini dimensionals, and that'll make it so it's easier to put stuff on them. I'm going to use 3. So let's put this one in the middle first. It even, you probably can't tell, but it even has the indentation to look like a screw. These things are so fun to play with. Hey, Phyllis. So we got 1. You have to be in the mood, though, for this kind of crafting. 2. Where's my other one? And the 3rd one. I used some old galvanized foil that I had, but you could use the brushed metallic foils as well. Okay, so we have our little hookies. Now, to hook onto those, one of the die cuts and stamps is this rake. So I did go ahead and poked a little hole and tied a string. It's linen thread. I know I probably don't have a string hanging from my rake, but I do now. For the shovel, so I've gone ahead and die cut it out. Isn't it fun, Phyllis? Then I've gone ahead and die cut the handle. So I just ran it through again. And I'm just going to cut it off right at the bottom here, because this set also has the spade part of the spade. Let's put that on first. No, let's put the handle on first. And I figured out it's easier to put the glue here than onto the little pieces. Took me a while to figure that out. And this one already has a hole in it, and the hole I think will be big enough to hang on the little hook, just as is. And we'll put some glue here. I wasn't sure if I had cut it exactly. That's why I put the wood on first, because we can overlap the steel. It's not really steel, but it looks like it. Okay, so that one's going to get hooked in there. I'll just lay it on top for now. Then I have the gardening shears, which also have a little silver, or a little piece that you can cut out just in silver. I've never seen them any other color. Mine in my garage have red handles. That's why I put red handles on. You could also do wood handles like I did the other ones. And again, I have a little string. Just going to trim that off a little bit. Hey, Lisa. As I said, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pop on today. Wednesdays will be a bit iffy, but hopefully I'll be able to pop on. This might be tricky. There we go. This is so cute. So we have our tools. So this is from the potted succulents. I like it because it looks, I have one of these actually in my tool shed. It's just a big tub is what it is. And in my tub, I'm going to put some more elements. So I have my little trowel, which I've already gone ahead and cut out the handle and did the exact same thing as I did here. I'm going to glue dot these down so they're not moving around, but for now. Then I have a pack of seeds. I have some gardening gloves. And I have the little hand rake, which I do have a little handle for. Let's go ahead and put that on. I think this would be a really fun Father's Day card. Well, I guess if you're giving it to someone that actually likes to garden. If they don't, maybe not. Just going to trim this off. Need a little dot of glue. Is anyone else in their craft room today? It's a bit cool out here, although I can feel spring. So now we have our little hand rake, which I probably didn't need to put the handle on because maybe I won't be able to see it. All right. I think what I'm going to do, I'm just figuring out how I'm going to attach all these. I'm going to take glue dots and attach them right where I have them. I'm going to try, because I want to pop this up. I could stick them to the back. Or maybe even just do a little run of tape along, but let's see how this works. I want to make sure that I'm not wider than the mouth of the tub. That looks good. And then our little gardening gloves. I might put these on the ground in front. Yes, I'm going to. Because they're covering up all the cute little things that I just put on there. So now we have our bucket. I want to make it look a little bit 3D. And our gardening gloves can just go here. And then I had some little pots. So these are the pots from one set, but as you can see, this pot is almost as big as the shovel. So I thought that's a bit big. So I found the ones in the window set, and I think they're a better size. And I'm just going to stack some of them down here, just like you might have some extra pots hanging around. These ones are cool because they come in different sizes. So we're really just creating a little scene, a little gardening scene. We'll put one more. I did offset it a little bit because otherwise you have to put it too far down. And perfect. And then you can't really see the pots. So that's kind of dumb. All right, so we have this. I wanted to put it here, but I'm kind of afraid to move it, so I'm just gonna leave it. And I think I'm gonna do a dimensional underneath. So that one's good. Then we've got our rake. And I think that's a good spot for it. Whoopsie. Like I said, I don't think I would have a string. No, I don't have a string on my rake in my garden, but for our card we do. And our garden shears, which I'm going to use a little mini glue dot. Might hang them on this side. There we go. So I didn't put any sentiment on this, so then I can use it either for Father's Day or a birthday card. But I think it's kind of fun. It's definitely fun to play with. Okay, do you ever do this? I forgot to take the dimensional back off of this one. That's why it's not sticking. There. I thought about doing another little shelf on top and putting some pots up there, but I think that would have been too much. So there's our little garden card. And of course you could stamp some other images inside as well. Aren't these hooks just so fun? Amazing. Whoever creates these just must have so much fun. And I understand that when they do their creating, they create a whole suite of products, if it is a suite. So that would be super fun, I think. All right, that's our first card. Now our next one has a cool element to it. I like combining sets. So I thought about this little set and using the window on the brick wall. So here's my idea. This is the part I'm not sure I'm gonna like. Let's just try it. I did take some pencil marks, slide this underneath, made sure it was centered first of all. Then I closed it up and did some little pencil marks so I would know where to do the sentiment. I'm just not sure I'm gonna like seeing the sentiment through, so we'll have to decide. So that'll be a later on decision. In the meanwhile, we have Cinnamon Cider, which is a retiring color. So this color is only around until the new catalog ends, unless they have a color refresh, which sometimes they do, but you can't count on it. So then I have my brick wall. So I did go ahead and I cut these out at the same time. So I didn't even glue it on, I just placed it on, ran it through the die cutting machine at the same time. Because, well, we want it to match. And now I want to put my little window sheet in here. So this is just a scrap piece I have. I had to buy more window sheets. For a while I don't use them, and then I use them for everything. And it's nice to put it in this layer so that you don't see any of the seams. So I am actually going to use this so that I don't get glue on the window sheet because it shows through and it doesn't look good. So I'm just trying to get it as close as I can. So we'll just add our window. I wish windows were this easy to install, but they're not. And then we can go ahead and put this over top. And again, I'm going to use Stamp and Seal so that I don't get white glue on my acetate window. So they're called window sheets in the catalog if you're looking for them. I am going to put it right close to the edge so that we don't have this part gaping. Gaping. Now I want to make sure I get it right where I want it. And straight. So when you do cut this out, this piece comes out separate and all these little pieces come out separate as well. So it looks like that, which is cool, but it looks a little too much the same. So then I cut it out of crumb cake so that I could add it just so it has a little more definition. Did I do this right? Yeah. For a minute I thought I had done it wrong. Okay, and you know what? I'm going to put glue dots. Again, you could use white glue, but it's tricky to get it so you don't smudge up your windows. So I think these are going to work. I'm going to be strategic where I put them. And then I will, someone asked me, it was Phyllis, asked me if I ever cut these in half, which I hadn't, but now would be a good time to learn. So it just needs to be a bit smaller. Hopefully this is going to work. And she had a cool way to do it, but I actually don't remember. I think you just cut it right on the sheet. That would make sense. I think if we just get a few on, then we're going to be good to go. All right. The one thing when you do curl them, they have a little more height, which I think is fine. So I want to put it in exactly, should fit perfectly. I keep thinking I did something wrong. It's because this goes inside. And I'm not sure I'm going to keep this, but. And I really did not do a good job of doing it in the middle. I think I'm going to like it better without anything, but let's do that later. All right, now we have a ladder. So now we're going to add some fun elements to our card. So I have a ladder. I have my shovel, which again, I did the handle. This one we don't have to add the string to. Let's go ahead and do the handle and the blade part, I guess you call it. There's our handle. This set you could just keep going and going and just keep adding things. The hardest part is knowing when to stop adding things. I'm just making sure that's lined up. All right, so that looks good. So we have our ladder. It's like someone's out working in the yard. And we have a shovel beside it. And then we are going to add some tulips underneath the window. So I could add them just like this, but I'm going to make it a little bit 3D. So the way that they've designed this is this 2, 5, 7 tulips. These 5 go here, and these 2 go here. And if you don't cut it off, it works perfectly. But I did cut it off because I'm going to make one look like it's a little bit in front of the other one. So I'm going to put these down. I'm going to put this one down with glue. And I thought about adding some grass or dirt or whatever, but yeah, I'm too lazy. Okay, so now I'm going to pop up these ones. And the bigger dimensionals do fit, so that's good. On this last one, I'm going to use a smaller one. So there we have, you can see each tulip has a stem. I want to make sure I'm not off my card. And then this one, I'm going to pop up as well. And then we have these two. So I'm just going to put a dimensional on this side. Might need to cut one. I want it just a little bit smaller than a full-size one. Because I don't want to put a dimensional on top of a dimensional here, is my thinking. This is just going to get glued down. You could go back and do some shading on each of the steps if you wanted to give it more dimension, but I think it looks fine. And then we'll pop this up. So we'll pop that, and then we'll cut a little edge piece for the handle. Let's see if that's going to work. It's a little bit wide. I should have done this before I put it on. There, that should be good. So I'm trying to make it look like it's leaning up against the ladder. And I forgot to take that one off. All right. So there's that card. Now I'll show you what it looks like with the sentiment inside. Oh, and I had this extra, so I thought I would just put it in here. And you know what? I'm going to be lazy and hope I don't mess up now that I've got to this point. And just put a tiny bit of glue. This white glue really spreads. So just put that, because it doesn't look very nice in there, so you have this extra piece from the front. Perfect. Well, it's not perfect, but it's perfect in my eyes. So the other thing you could do, so here was my first idea, was to put the sentiment inside. Dad, thanks for helping me grow, which I think is very fitting. So that you could kind of see it through the window. And then when you opened it up, it's there. I kind of like it now. I'm just going to trim it off a little bit because I measured wrong, clearly. My handy dandy little paper trimmer. I'm going to erase these marks. Does anyone else? I have one eraser that's really good and one that leaves ridiculous marks. And that was the one, the first one I pulled. All right, so now we have to make sure that we get it exactly where we want it. And I think that's it. I'll use snail. And you could always go ahead and put some more flowers in here or a little pot or something. I'm not going to right now, but you could take one of the potted flowers. There's some really cool, these ones, you can just cut them right out and use them in your cards. So you could do that as well. Okay, I like it. Let's add some Wink of Stella. I could have also moved this down so I had flowers a little longer down, but or instead of flowers you could just have some more pots if you didn't want to have flowers on it, but I don't think the flowers makes it look too girly. All right. Oh, Judith, you do. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to at first, but now that I see it, I do like it. So those are my 2 cards for today. Perfect for masculine for Father's Day. This set, the one with the ladder and the spade, is actually designed for, well, not designed, but it does have sentiments for Father's Day, or happy birthday would be fun too. So those are my 2 cards today, and these are our 4 cards from Monday. In case you missed Monday, you can go back and look. Again, using all of these elements from the different sets. So you can see how, remember I was saying some of the elements you can't really put between the 2 sets. And a perfect example is this. That's a big watering can. So when your watering can is half the size of your ladder, that's probably not to scale. So, but there's enough fun things that you can make them so that some of the elements match. Like this is from one set and that is from a different set. Okay. Thank you for joining me today. I do appreciate it if you like or share my video. If you're watching the replay on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so that you will know when I post a new video. Thank you for the hearts. Just seeing if there's yeah, I'm not, Wednesdays will be like hit or miss, but I was here. I was a bit late, but oh, thanks, Lisa. They're very fun to do. And like I said, I prefer when I have a whole bunch of the elements already prepared and then I can just kind of dig in and see what I want to use. I did kind of have an idea of what I wanted to do, but I'll just move these over and then we can show these four as well. Just if anyone sees, sometimes when you're looking through the pictures, you like to see what the card's going to look like, so you'll know if you want to watch the video. So there we go. Thanks everyone. I will be back on Friday. I have a really fun idea for a fun fold using these same elements from these various stamp sets and dies. So have a good week and I hope to see some of you on Friday. Thanks everyone.